The 4th China-Eurasia Expo, a 6-day international trade fair, opened in the northwestern Chinese city of Urumqi, capital of Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region recently. Chinese Vice Premier Wang Yang, along with several foreign leaders, attended the opening ceremony. The expo aimed to become a bridge facilitating the economic and technical cooperation among the countries along the ancient Silk Road, Wang said at the opening ceremony. 10 forums and dialogue events were held during the week-long event with the theme of building the Silk Road economic belt through opening up and cooperation. The Silk Road economic belt, proposed by Chinese President Xi Jinping during his visit to Central Asia in September 2013, has injected vitality into regional cooperation in Eurasia. The project will involve over 40 Asian and European countries and regions with a total population of about 3 billion. The expo was upgraded from a regional trade fair, the 19-year-old China Urumqi Foreign Economic Relations and Trade Fair, in September 2011. Traditional celebrations for China's Mid-Autumn Festival kicked off across the country last Sunday, although festivities in some regions were quite different from the rest. Celebrating the festival for most people in China means eating pastries and admiring the beauty of the moon. However, eastern Chinese cities such as Gansu have lesser-known traditions. For members of China's Hakka minority group in Gansu, celebrating the festival means dancing around the bonfires called burning towers in Chinese. The practice of setting fire to the towers, which are made from 3-meter hollow stacks of bricks and tiles, has a history of over 800 years in the region. Zhong Hanming, a resident of Gansu, said the burning tower celebration allows them to live just like the bright and passionate flames. It brings everyone happiness. In the nearby province of Jiangsu, many local residents were seen purchasing embroidered stones with rabbit designs. These special shoes are sold in street stalls all around the province each year and are usually given to children as gifts. Meanwhile, many residents in Shanghai began celebrating their holiday by preparing a local snack known in Chinese as eyebrow dumplings. The eyebrow-shaped dumplings, stuffed with sesame paste, are eaten during the holiday due to their crescent moon shape. The Mid-Autumn Festival, which began on Monday, falls every year on the 15th day of the 8th month on the Chinese lunar calendar. 2 Japanese films won awards at the Montreal World Film Festival in Canada. Cape Nostalgia was produced by popular veteran actress Sayuri Yoshinaga, who also stars in the film. It won the jury's Special Grand Prix, the second highest honor. The story is based on a novel and revolves around a cafe on a cape in Chiba Prefecture, east of Tokyo. It depicts the human bonds between the cafe owner, played by Yoshinaga, and her customers. Cape Nostalgia is Yoshinaga's first effort as a producer in an acting career that spans more than half a century. The Best Director award went to Mippo for The Light Shines Only There. The film is set in northern Japan and is based on a popular novel. It portrays the relationship between a young man and a woman struggling at the lower levels of society in Hakodate, Hokkaido. Tokyo Governor Yoichi Masuzoe called for further exchanges among Asian countries at a pre-opening ceremony of an International Asia Conference held in the Siberian region of Russia. The 2-day Asian Network of Major Cities 21 conference was held at the Russian city of Tomsk. Delegates from 6 cities took part. The first conference was held in 2001 at the initiative of the Tokyo Metropolitan Government. Masuzoe said the meeting provides an important opportunity for cities to discuss common problems. An exhibition about the participating cities were held in the conference venue. Representatives discussed ways to improve living standards and encourage more cities to take part in the annual meetings. Masuzoe said Tokyo hoped to build good relations with other Asian cities. He said this will have a positive influence on overall ties between Japan and Russia. Yamaha Moto has unveiled 2 new models of an electric power-assisted bicycle designed to be easier for seniors to use. Yamaha says the 2 models in the series announced recently have more aluminium parts and are up to 1.6 kilograms lighter than previous models. Power-assisted bikes are equipped with motors and batteries and are heavier than conventional bicycles. The saddles on the new bicycles are about 3 centimeters lower than usual. The models also have larger battery monitors and bigger power control buttons. Bicycle Association says domestic shipments of power-assisted bikes stood at around 440,000 units last year. That's about double the figure a decade before. Yamaha Moto official Yasuhiro Kashima says his company hopes to increase sales for power-assisted bicycles by developing products suitable for the elderly. The new series will be released next month. Both models will have a price tag of about $1,000. Young South Korean baseball players clinched the Little League World Series title for the first time in 29 years. South Korea advanced to the finals after beating Japan to take first place in the international championship. The teams then went on to defeat the US champion Illinois 8-4. It was the South Korean team's offense and pitching that carried the squad to the top of the Little League Championship. Wang Jae-young's hits in the first and third innings put the team up by 2-0. The Chicago team scored a run at the bottom of the third to narrow the gap, but the South Koreans again built on their lead with an additional run scored in the fourth. Aggressive base running and timely hits created several scoring opportunities for the South Korean team. The momentum swung completely over to the eventual champions with a South Korean home run in the fifth inning. Sin Dong-wan cleared the fence with a solo hammer to center field to extend the lead to 4-1. In the sixth and last inning, the South Korean team added 4 more runs, including Korean pitcher Choi Hae-chan's single home run, to clinch the championship. The US team tried to catch up, scoring 3 runs at the bottom of the sixth, but the game ended with South Korea on top by 4. This marks the first time that the South Korean team made it to the final rounds in 29 years, dating back to consecutive titles won in 1984 and 1985. South Korean Little Leaguers made history by winning the Little League World Series title yet again. Korean researchers have developed the world's first bendable solar cells that look like fabric. The development is expected to be applied in various areas in connection with the next generation technology trend of wearable gadgets. The display folds like a piece of paper. This computer can be worn on your wrist like a watch. These are wearable gadgets people can wear as they freely bend and fold, which is a world's first. Korean researchers have developed a fabric-type solar cell that can serve as the power source embedded in wearable gadgets. The panel is flexible like a cloth and can freely bend and fold. The panel was actually made to resemble woven fabric using super-thin thread-like metal and ceramic fibers. Cha Seung-il, a researcher at Carey, said they looked for a material that was mechanically sturdy and could be mass-produced. They believe cloth was the best fit. The flexible solar panels can generate power for strings and bands in glasses and watches. They can also produce electricity outdoors for equipment such as camping tents. It can also be used as an efficient source of power, making military barracks and backpacks more convenient for soldiers during combat. Lee Dong-yoon, a researcher at Carey, said the panel is so light, if it is further developed, it can even be attached on buildings, in which case there is a huge market. This latest study is published in Scientific Reports, a sister publication of the renowned Nature magazine. An ancient underground building has been found under the single-story building that was passed to Mustafa Bozdemir from his family in Turkey's central province of Kayseri. Mustafa Bozdemir, a Turkish citizen living in France, has been told that the single-story building in his hometown has been bequeathed to him. 5 years ago, he intended to clean the house. He started digging the soil around the house and found that the house was not only single-story but has more stories under the house. After excavating for many years, he finally saw that there were 4 more stories at the bottom. Ozdemir has spent 80,000 euros so far to unearth the ancient building. The building is believed to date back to ancient Rome. During the works to clean the building, some archaeological remains have been found, such as bones. A team from Ursis University has been examining the remains. Caritas that have completed incubation period in Istuzu Beach in Mediterranean province of Mugla begin to meet with the sea. Last year, 25,000 caritas reached the sea. Almost 18 or 20,000 young caritas are expected to reach the sea this year. In Turkey, caritas generally start to hatch from mid-May until late September. Only 1 carita out of 1,000 succeed to become adults. After 30 years, adult caritas come back to their place of birth. The main enemies of the caritas are fox, predatory birds and crabs. In order to provide a safe environment for the caritas, volunteers are guarding them all day. Beans, seeds, pasta and even a piece of onion peel all form the canvas for one of the world's most unusual painters. Turkish artist Hasan Kale chose to paint tiny unusual pieces of material for his work known as microart. Hasan Kale has been painting Istanbul landscapes and sultans' portraits on beans, seeds, staples, pieces of hair or pasta. insects and other unusual materials for the last 2 decades. His micro art has attracted worldwide attention since he devoted himself to the challenge of painting on impossibly tiny materials. Using waterproof colors, the 54-year-old artist, born in Inegöl town near Bursa, northwest Turkey, is challenged by the size and texture of minuscule objects. One of the artifacts he feels most proud of is a landscape painted on a delicate piece of onion peel and a Turkish flag on a piece of his own white hair. His first piece of micro art was made on a bean, still one of his favorite materials, together with pumpkin seeds. Kali takes at least 15 minutes to create these diminutive paintings on a seed, and he doesn't use any magnifying lens, just normal glasses. Hasan Kali from his studio in central Istanbul says the philosophy behind his art is to stress how important the small objects that we ignore or forget or don't pay attention to are in our lives. Nothing seems to be too small for Kali's Lilliput artwork. Apart from seeds and beans, he paints on metal, nails or staples, fish bones, feathers and even chocolate. He has created the silhouette of Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, founder of the Republic of Turkey, in cocoa powder, which he protects with a glass. He says the smallest things, things you might hate, have become his art capsules. Together with them, he has found an amazing series of micro artifacts out of almost 250 materials. He says the only one in the world who does that is him. So far, he has created 500 pieces on those 250 materials. They are displayed in exhibitions in Turkey and throughout the world. Prices for his work starts at $4,000 and are bought by collectors and celebrities. He says actors Sylvester Stallone and Jason Statham are fans of his work. Kali's favorite subjects for his micro-paintings are Istanbul landscapes and portraits of sultans or dervish. He also paints Turkish flags and Atatürk, but his topics include nudes, Christian iconography and historical characters like Argentine Ernesto Che Guevara. Hasan Kali also enjoys painting on more traditional canvases. He says all different materials have different characteristics. Some absorb paint, some don't, some are fragile, some are thin. Since there are so many different objects, other than repeating them, he prefers to make a single one out of each. He says he still has new micro-challenges. He'd love to travel the world promoting his art and finding new materials and topics for painting. Hasan Kali has his project of painting an Istanbul panorama on a piece of hair. Solo drama Tin Pitavu, produced by the drama unit of the Sri Lanka Rupa Vahini Corporation, has received a special jury's award at the Korea's Seoul International Drama Festival. This is the first time that the National Rupavini has received an award in this festival. The Tin Pitavu solo drama was directed by Mohan G. Ranganatha of the drama unit of the Sri Lanka Rupavini Corporation. He received the award at the awards festival held at the Korean capital Seoul. Asadi Rangana, who plays the solo character in this drama, was nominated as the Best Actress. Mohan G. Ranganatha, who joined the drama unit of the National Rupavini in the year 1989, became very popular through the direction of his first drama Asani Wesi teledrama.